The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 is coming with an epic new design on top of some big improvements to the hardware and the software. Let me know in the comments who out there is excited for the Z Flip 6, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech. So first up, before we get into the great news on the Z Flip 6, for those fans of the S series, we now have the Galaxy S24 pre-order live, and you can pre-order for free just by putting in your name and email address. There's no commitment to buy, and you'll receive free Samsung credit, as well as more exclusive offers on launch. Now, of course, I've placed the links down in the description below, as well as the card in the top right corner, so go ahead and check it out now. Now back to the Z Flip 6, and we've got news of impressive new AI features that were revealed by Mystery Lupin on Twitter, as well as a recent listing. Now he says we're going to get Live Translate, which is going to speak and translate foreign languages on the spot right from inside the Samsung phone app. We've got Nightography Zoom, which is going to improve the zoomed image in low light shots. And then we've also got Generative Edit, and this is going to move, add or remove things from your images using a generative AI fill. And this is pretty much the same as Google's Magic Eraser, although it looks like for this you will need to be logged into your Samsung account, so that means it's probably not happening on the device itself and you will need connectivity to the cloud. Now we've also got a tweet from Ice Universe, and he says that the Galaxy S24 Ultra is now going to offer 4K videos at 120 frames a second, and given that the Z Flip 6 also uses the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 that's powering the S24, it's likely that the Flip 6 will get this feature as well. Now next up, we've got news of a big camera upgrade to the Z Flip 6, and it's something I'm sure most of you are going to be pleased to see. Samsung are already testing a prototype of the Z Flip 6 with a 50 megapixel primary camera. This is a big step up from the predecessor's 12 megapixel. Now the report unfortunately doesn't give us any details on the exact sensor that they're using, but after the Flip 5 used the same camera as its predecessor, it's great that we're finally getting an upgrade. Next up, we've got a tweet from Ross Young, and he says that the foldable cover on the Z Flip 6 and the Z Fold 6 is going to be getting bigger, and he advises that the Z Flip 6 is going to come with a 3.9-inch cover display. This is a nice improvement from the predecessor's 3.4-inch. When it comes to display leaks, Ross Young is always incredibly accurate, so we'd be pretty sure that this is happening. We also have news that further backs up the increase in display size, as the Z Flip 6 is reportedly going to come with native app support for the cover display. Now currently, it's only widgets and a limited selection of apps through Samsung Labs. While there is a workaround using the Good Lock launcher, there are still plenty of limitations and issues. Now with native support, the apps are going to be much better optimized, so this is going to massively improve the user experience on the new Z Flip 6. Now next up, we've got great news that the Z Flip 6 is also finally going to be getting some dust resistance thanks to a new and improved hinge and display design. Its predecessor came with an IPX8 rating for water resistance only, but reports are stating that the Z Flip 6 will in fact be Samsung's first fold with dust resistance. Now dust resistance is arguably more important than water resistance, so this is great news to hear. Now the new display is also going to be more durable than the current one, which not only means a longer lasting display, but there's also going to be less visible creasing in the center of the display. Now there are rumors stating that there's going to be no crease in the center at all, but to be honest, we hear these rumors every single year and it never happens. We also had news that Samsung are working on a faux LED display to improve the blue subpixel and achieve a much greater overall brightness. But new reports state that Samsung is encountering issues with the new display, so it's not going to be in the Z Flip 6 and it's likely going to debut in the Z Flip 7. But the Flip display generally gets an upgrade in line with the S phones, which means that the new Z Flip 6 is likely to have a display around 2600 nits on the foldable display, and this is pretty incredible. Now next up, we've got news of a better battery, and we should see a slight increase in capacity from the predecessor's 3700 mAh, and the phone may also be increasing in size a bit, and part of the reason is going to be because of the larger cover display, but don't expect any huge increases in the battery capacity, as it's still a relatively small phone. Now one area we would like to see improvement on is the fast charging. Its 25 watt is relatively slow compared to many other phones on the market, but as soon as we get any update on the fast charging, I'll share it straight away. When it comes to hardware, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 is of course going to be using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which has already been shown to be a great performing chipset thanks to the leaked benchmarks, and Samsung are of course putting a lot more focus into AI when it comes to the Z Flip 6. When it comes to the phone's design, there are a few prototypes, so there's not been a final decision on the design just yet. But with the current flip being so popular, I can't see Samsung switching things up too much, and they've played it relatively safe with the rest of their lineup, so I imagine the flip is going to be the same. Now, for those of you excited for the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, we're going to run through the full specs, design, and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you're new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, we get a 6.7-inch foldable 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. While it's the same size as its predecessor, we're expecting improvements in brightness, color accuracy, and durability. It's coming with a resolution of 1080 by 2640, and it will of course be protected by Samsung's newest ultra-thin glass. There's also going to be less visible creasing in the new foldable display, as well as water and dust resistance. For the external cover display, we get a 120Hz dynamic AMOLED, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. It's going to be a 3.9-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 748, and of course we'll see all the usual improvements like increased brightness and color accuracy, as well as the native app support for the cover display. Now, the selfie camera is still unknown at the moment, but it's likely going to be another 10-megapixel camera. Then on the rear, it's a dual camera setup with a 50-megapixel primary camera and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in all regions, and it's going to come with 8GB of RAM and up to 512GB storage, and this will of course be UFS 4.1. Now, it's coming with around a 3700 mAh battery, and while fast charging is still currently unknown, we're hoping for some improvements to both wired and wireless charging. In terms of connectivity, we get advanced 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra-wideband support, and it's of course coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14. It's expected to launch from $1,050, and it's going to launch in August 2024. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 is looking like a great phone that brings with it plenty of upgrades over the previous model. With new cameras, better displays, and all of the new AI features, it should really improve the general usability of the phone. And a bigger cover display along with a much brighter inner display is a great improvement to an already popular series. Now, while it has all of these upgrades, it is still relatively similar to its predecessor, so this means anyone with the Z Flip 5 probably isn't going to be rushing for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older flip or looking to get their first flip, then the Flip 6 is going to be a great choice. Now, of course, we're still quite a way away from the official launch, and we're no doubt going to get more and more leaks as we approach it, and of course, I'll be sharing them as soon as they come in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.